to the Sisters podcast. We are back with another episode, and I have the one and only Shanice Maxwell in the building with me today. Shanice, what is up, girl?
Girl, so many things. It is a pleasure to see you, though.
It is so good to see you. I'm so glad I got you into the stew.
I know.
We were talking about it. We made it happen. We
got
it done, and I'm glad that you were able to come over.
I'm so excited to be here, and I'm so proud of you. Like, I just gotta get that out there. Since you did this.
Yeah, listen, we doing this. I'm proud of you too.
Thank you.
Let me throw that out right back to you. And, just to break the ice a little bit, I just found out that you a French toast girl.
I am.
And I'm a pancakes first girl.
That's so boring, though.
So, I would go pancakes, waffles, then French toast. So
But I do know your reasoning.
Right.
So.
No eggs over here, but, I would still pick pancakes even if I had a choice. But
like plain pancakes? Are you putting something on them, in them, something?
The syrup is in them. That's all I need.
That's so boring.
So you choosing French toast, I'm choosing pancakes, that's fine.
For sure.
You going bacon or you going sausage?
I'm going bacon.
Okay, me too.
I'm going bacon.
Every time.
Go bacon.
Everybody's sausage ain't the same, so I'm going bacon.
Thanks.
Going bacon. Alright. You going grits or you going oatmeal?
Grits.
Yep, okay, cool. Because I know a lot of people that don't like grits.
Wait. Follow up.
Oh, here you go.
Follow up! Because it matters in the black community. Are you sugar in your grits? Or are you like butter, salt, pepper, cheese kind of person?
So.
Please don't make me walk out this door. I'll walk out this door.
Look, you answer first. You can answer first.
I'm a butter, salt, pepper, and cheese kind of person.
I'm not putting sugar in my grits.
Okay, period. Okay, we got it. I can stay. I'm gonna sit back.
I'm sorry.
But erases everything. Hold on.
I'm so sorry. And to you guys, I'm so sorry too.
I'm gonna wear my bro.
Grits without ketchup.
Okay, get the fuck out of here. No, I'm not here because no.
Ketchup with grits. But I've been eating that since I was young. Everybody in my family, they look at me like crazy,
toddler food.
But I am putting my ketchup in the grits every single time. I don't eat cheese. I'm a really picky eater. But I'm gonna put ketchup in my grits.
Ketchup and grits?
Yep, I'm so sorry.
It's toddler behavior.
Try it. Don't knock it till you try it.
I have, but not intentionally. Like when I was a kid, I put ketchup on my eggs, and so if the eggs happen to touch the grits, it's not like I would freak out and have
Right.
But I'm not intentionally grabbing the ketchup to put them in the grits. I'm not doing that on purpose.
I'm doing it every single time. So good.
Where you put your ketchup, in the fridge or in the cabinet?
You about to fridge.
Me too.
Okay,
but there are people who put it in the cabinet. But you're supposed to refrigerate it after you open it. That's what the label says.
And why would I want warm ketchup?
Yeah, that's what. Okay, we all right.
Yeah, we good.
We all right.
That's bad funny. But listen, for those of you who don't know, because y'all probably don't know, me and Shanice was in kindergarten first.
Way back like Cadillac.
And what's crazy? I was thinking, what didn't we perform as the Cheetah Girls?
Oh my God, I was thinking the other night. No, swear to God, I had just rewatched The Girls 2 a little while ago, and I was like, wow, we definitely did this at recess.
Yes, we was performing. I remember we had a little talent show in kindergarten. We was up there. Did we have a fourth?
I don't want to be like
setting it off for real.
We did. Oh my gosh. Definitely Shanice and Shanique.
Yep.
Jada was in the mix somehow.
Yes.
And Adriana Sobral.
Yes, you are absolutely right. Up there.
Shout out to the girls.
Performing right. Shout out to the Cheetah Girls. Bringing it all the way back. It's so crazy. So, elementary school, I ended up leaving, going to bounce from mad different elementary schools, unfortunately. And then we met up again at Kobe.
Yeah.
Graduated together and, both went to college, did our thing, graduated, and, here we are.
Yeah.
Living in adulting and figuring it out together.
Figuring it out,
One day at a time.
Hallelujah.
But, like I said, I mentioned before, but I'm proud of you. And for reasons that a lot of people don't know yet, but Shanice is a soon-to-be author. Yeah. And I'm not even going to say soon-to-be because you are an author. The book is here.
The book is written. It's done.
And tell us a little bit about that. What inspired you to start a book?
Whew. Okay. I'm going to try to tell the condensed version of this. Mm-hmm. My grandmother introduced me to poetry when I was very young. So Paul Laurence Dunbar, Nikki Giovanni, Langston Hughes, the works of Toni Morrison, Zora Neale Hurston, all of like the greats, right? Like Harlem Renaissance era. And I clung to that. Education was always something that my family valued and they found very important. And so I was surrounded by, my mom was a teacher. My grandmother was the first woman in our family to go to college, and then set like the standard, right? So I've always loved poetry. And for me, even in school, whether it was elementary to undergrad to master's, if I was tasked with a writing assignment and I wasn't sure how I wanted to attack it, I defaulted to poetry. And second semester of my master's program, for my final, we were asked to write a children's book because I got my master's in elementary education.
Okay.
Certified.
Listen, I was about to say,
your child's favorite teacher.
Listen, we got degrees out here.
Period. Okay? Your child's favorite teacher. And so she said that, and I was like, okay, also only Black person in my cohort. I was like, okay, how do I want to do this? How do I want to do this? And I'll never miss an opportunity to bring Black stories to the front.
Right.
So I decided to write a poem because I was like, I don't really know how to do this. I don't know what I want to do. So I'm going to jump to my safety net. And I wrote about 10 poems to fill the book. And I used a couple that were previously written. 2 of them I actually wrote sophomore year at Kobe in the ELA class. Shout out to Mr. Crocco. And still there holding it down, my boy Crocco. And I found those on like my old laptop from high school and wrote a couple more and was able to put together the book. And we had to present it. The class was small, it's maybe like 10, 12 people. So she had each of us go up there and either read the book or read a segment of it.
Wow.
And so I read 2 poems, and they are in the book, so pay attention to these titles. The Darker Sister and For Little Black Girls with Big Names. And I read those 2, and I remember looking up after I finished reading them. My professor, middle-aged white woman, but she was like in tears.
Wow.
And they were like, it was like silent in the room, you hear a pin drop. And I was like, was it bad? Like, I'm looking like, damn, what did I do? And everybody just started clapping. And I was like, well, maybe this is a thing. And when I was about 8, 9 years old, my grandmother saw that I was constantly writing in notebooks and typing things between letters and poems and essays and short stories. And she was like, you're going to write a book one day. Like, I can see that for you. And I'm like 8. I'm like, girl.
Right.
Please. I'm trying to go play outside. I don't know what you're talking about. But she spoke that over my life a little over 20 years ago. And I lost my grandmother my first day of classes, senior year of undergrad. And I told myself that everything I ever promised her, I was going to make sure it happened, right? So I made sure I graduated. I made sure I would make something of myself. And I had pretty much forgot about the book for the most part. I brought it to my classrooms when I was teaching. It was posted, near my door. And so the kids would take it, they would read it, whatever. But I didn't really think much of it until this past September, I got laid off. The entire HR department got laid off. And I was like, okay, what do we do? And I decided in the midst of the depression and the anxiety that came along with it, I said, okay, we're going to flip this on its head and we're going to write this book. Like, we're actually going to bring this to fruition.
Right.
I had to find it. Because it was in the midst of my teacher stuff, so I had to find it. And when I did, I immediately called my friend Kayla, who you know and got to go to school with. And I told her what my vision was. And I said, girl, this is what we're going to do. This is what it's going to be. And it's called Pretty for a Black Girl. And this is what I envision. It's called Pretty for a Black Girl.
Yep.
And I was like, this is the vision. This is what it's going to be. And in that meeting, she sat down, grabbed her iPad, mocked up the vision I had for my cover, and turned around the iPad and she said, like this. And maybe 1 or 2 tweaks, but I was like, yeah, That's what I see. My entire cover is dedicated to my grandmother. From the color of the skin of the woman on the front. My grandmother was a beautiful chocolate brown skin. When she was younger, she had an afro. I made sure that woman had an afro.
Right.
And my grandmother's, one of her favorite colors was like teal. So the girl has clothing that's that color. So this book was truly, truly a testament to my grandmother's prophecy, and it's dropping April 6th, which will be my grandmother's 100th birthday. So I could not have thought of a better way to honor her legacy and to celebrate her birthday in such a milestone. Though she's no longer here, I know that this is probably the best gift I've ever could have given her. And I'm excited to just share it with the world. I'm excited to just give it to people because writing has saved my life on multiple occasions. And I think I found healing and peace writing this book. What started off as a children's book, it has turned into a coming of age story through poetic prose for the Black girl who is finding her way, for the Black girl who is figuring out how to become that Black woman, the Black woman who needs to heal the little Black girl inside of her. Like this one's for us. Yes. This one really is for us. And I called it Pretty for a Black Girl on purpose because it is one of those phrases and those microaggressions that we hear from time to time, right? You're pretty for a Black girl, you're pretty for a big girl, you're pretty for a skin girl. Like, why can't I just be pretty because I'm pretty?
Right. Just say I'm cute.
Just say I'm cute, okay? And nobody's gonna come out the woods and be like, oh my God, you called her cute.
Right.
Like, it's okay, Stink. But I was like, I want to take that back and I want to flip it on its head because you're right. I am pretty and I'm Black and I'm all of these things. But I'm so much more than what's physical and what you can see, right? So everything from skin tone to race to gender to sexuality to self-love to church hurt to parental hurt, we covering it all.
Girl.
We covering it all.
I'm over here looking at you like a proud like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to get that copy.
I'm so excited.
Because I think what is most loving about this situation is how your grandmother prophesied this to you when you were 20 years ago.
Literally.
Which sounds crazy. Sorry.
Right. Good God.
20 years ago, she prophesied this to you, and life takes its course.
Yeah.
Things happen, but you found back to that prophecy, and I think it's a testament to people that things don't happen overnight.
That's true.
They take time to get there, and sometimes we want it in our time, but more likely it happens on God's timing.
Amen.
And the fact that you're dropping this book on April 6th, your grandmother's 100th birthday, is just so amazing.
It's like poetic. Like I literally I could not have written this story better.
Not 99, not
right.
No other, her 100th heavenly birthday. That is amazing.
Crazy.
And that, so proud of you.
Thanks,
so proud of you. And it's you are covering areas that not a lot of people will come to you and talk about, but they will experience reading the different poems that you took the time to write, because we all feel in the same type of way.
Right.
Just going through it in different ways.
Right.
And it's that's amazing, Shanice. That is so amazing. You should be very, very proud of yourself.
I am. It took a lot for me to write it because I had to really dig deep. And I got a writing coach, and to run, I mean, you can't do anything in silos. You can't really do anything individually. We are community rooted people by nature.
Talk about it.
And so I tried to do this all by myself and quickly realized that I couldn't do it. And so I had to create what I call my council. I had to build that village to really help me move this forward. And I'd be remiss if I came in here and said that it was all me, because it wasn't. And he pushed me, he really was like, do you believe what you just said? And I was like, well, kind of. And he was like, because I don't believe you. And as a Black man, I was like, dang, all right. If he don't believe me, the Black woman ain't even going to be like, nah, they're not going to believe me. So I had to really dig deep, which caused a stir in my spirit, and it caused me to dig up some stuff I thought I had dealt with. It caused me to uproot some stuff that I had suppressed for a very long time. And one of my modern day favorite poets, her name is Jasmine Mans, said, your poem doesn't start until you start telling the truth.
Say that again.
Your poem doesn't start until you start telling the truth.
Wow.
And I remember that, and I was like, okay, challenge accepted. And I went back, and the book went from 9 pieces to 17 pieces in like the course of a day or two. And I was like, okay, I had to dig for this, but I did it, and it's done now. I had to dig in my author's note. I had to dig in my conclusion, because I had to set the reader up for success in the midst of this, right? I had to put my trigger warnings in place, because one thing I never want to do is re-traumatize anybody in the midst of stuff. But art reflects life, and there were things that are discussed in the author's note and in the introduction that are very real, and in my story, and I had to put that on paper, not even just for me or even little me, because I know that there are people who have dealt with it as well. Right. And it's really, if I'm gonna tell the testimony, I gotta tell it in full.
Right.
I can't tell it in pieces. I can't sugarcoat it, right? I gotta tell the full testimony, because that's the only way God gonna get the glory. I gotta tell the whole story, right? So the book grew almost overnight when I decided to tell the truth.
Right.
Because I realized not only was it my truth, but it was the experiences and lived experiences of a lot of other women that I know and that I don't know. So yeah, that's pretty for a Black girl. That's how we got here.
Listen, I think being authentic is something that is lost right now.
Yeah.
A lot of people are sugarcoating life and sugarcoating things that they have been through. But how are you supposed to grow from those situations?
Right.
How are you supposed to learn from them if you don't share your truths?
Right.
And it's not like you have to share it with the world. Everybody has different ways that they can share their story and their truth. But it's like, you can't grow unless you get through those rooted things that stomped you down at some point in time.
For sure.
And I feel like as we get older, we start to realize that. And it's up to us to take those truths and turn them into something positive, or, let it suppress us for the rest of our lives.
Right.
And it's just so amazing that you turn something that was very destructive to you at one point into something so beautiful, because you know how your story can help other people and other women get through what they're going through right now. So
absolutely,
there's nothing wrong with being authentic
at all. And you've known me forever, so like I can't be anything but that. And I've worked so hard to learn what it is to be me, and that's even talked about in the book too, of like finding my place and figuring out who I am as a Black girl, as a plus size Black girl. Like figuring those steps out, like I can't be anything but me, like, because I'd be doing myself a disservice, and then I'd just be pouring into generational trauma. Like, we are at an age now where I'm consciously thinking about the children I will have, right? The grandchildren I'll eventually have. The curse ends here. It stops here, and it stops today.
Right now.
Okay. Like I can't for myself. I can't do it. And I don't even know these little people who are coming in this lineage. But I love you so much already that I'm going to do the work now, so that you don't have a mess to clean up like I had to clean up.
Hello, girl.
I can't do that to y'all.
Girl. And that's what before obviously we hit record, we was having a conversation. But just the simple fact of like our generation wanting to break the curse.
Yeah.
Wanting to stop the curse
for
our children and their children. And like, it was a point in time where I feel like we were being educated on things that our parents wasn't, and they didn't get the opportunity to learn. And it's up to us to learn from those mistakes that they didn't even know that they were making.
That part.
to better ourselves. And it's not shaming them, and it's not throwing them down, and it's not none of that. And it's like, once you can take that from understanding that they just didn't know any better, you will change your mindset to better yourselves for your family.
Absolutely.
For your friends, for other people that are looking up to you and want to see you do good. So it's like, we can play the blame game.
Right. And then, but for what? Right? Like,
where's it going? It's not changing anything.
Everybody lose. What Jason said, nobody win with the family feud. Okay.
Listen, the curse is still just going that way. So it's like,
somebody got to stop it.
Somebody got to stop it. And why not it be us?
Right.
Why not it be us?
We are prepared and we are ready. And so it ends today.
It ends today.
It ends today.
So it's crazy because my next question for you was, like, what challenges have you overcome to get to where you are now? But I feel like you touched on a couple different things, but like, you chuckled. So there must be like one thing that you kind of need to get off your chest right now. So what is that? If you don't mind.
Yeah. In the midst of writing the book, my father passed. And that was a hard one because, one, I never got the chance to tell him about the book. And the meeting I had with Kayla about the cover happened on a Tuesday. My father passed that Friday. So it's like I was preparing to say something. Like I, was looking forward to saying something, and I didn't get the chance. And that set me back a little bit. And I thought it was going to completely throw me off my timeline. But I fought through grief with the help of community. But that was a tough one because my father and I never had the best relationship in the world. Very young age, that was my boy. Like, my parents were married, 2-parent household, everything seemed fine. My parents got divorced when I was 4. There was a bit of infidelity. There was some drug and alcohol abuse. There was some physical abuse going on. And so my mother did what Black mamas do. And she picked me and her up, and we got out. And I didn't talk to my dad as much. It was a very strained relationship. And then the last 2 to 3 years, maybe 4 years or so, we were really working on our relationship. We were really trying to get back to a place where, we hadn't been since I was like 4 or 5 years old. But we had reached a really good place. I was able to forgive him for a lot of that stuff. Like, we were good. And so to lose him when we just got good was hard. That was difficult. Because it was like, dang, you left me again. But this time for good. And that tore me up inside. And I had to navigate that. And I'm still navigating that because that just happened in December.
It's tough.
Yeah, it is. And so that was one of the things that I definitely had to overcome to get to this point. In the book, trigger warning, in the book, I do mention my suicide attempts as a kid. There's 3 of them that happened before the age of 18. And not really telling my mother. My mother had no clue until I was about 22 years old. My last one, my grandmother stopped me literally in the midst of it. My grandmother stopped me. And she promised that she wouldn't say anything to my mother, but she made me promise that I would eventually, when I was ready, when I dealt with what I needed to deal with, that I would say something to her. So when I did finally have the conversation with my mother, she literally had no idea. And I was like, Grandma never said anything to you? She said, no. And in that moment, I was like, wow, she promised. She promised. And she kept that promise to the grave. She was like, when you're ready, you'll say something. But she knew it wasn't her place. It wasn't part of her place.
It's a real grandmother right
there. That was my girl.
That's a real grandmother right there.
That was my girl. So I was like, dang, she really kept it to herself. I did not expect her to do that. That's like a child safety issue. Like, I really didn't expect her to not say that.
Right.
But she did. My mother was completely floored. She had no clue, like no idea. So those were some other challenges in figuring out.
But you realized that wasn't the answer.
Yeah, I realized that wasn't the answer. And that there's a purpose being here. There's a reason why those attempts failed. Right? All 3 of them. Right? And we know, church-wise, numerology-wise, 3 is a number of completion. Right? And so there was a reason that those 3 did not take. And as a kid, I couldn't figure out why it wasn't working, right? So I'm like, I did everything right.
Yo.
That's crazy now. Oh my God. This is no laughing matter.
No, it's not. But she has overcome this so she can laugh about it. Unfortunately, our community laughs about trauma that we go through. It's the only way to keep it pushing.
It really is.
You gotta really laugh at it.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
We are so glad that you are here.
Me too. Amen.
Yes.
I'm so glad too. Because there's just more for me to do. And I see that now.
Right.
And I had to get to the other side. And experience some loss and experience some hard times to see that. But I'm grateful to be alive. I'm thankful to be alive. And to be here to continue to do the work that I was put here to do.
And that, I'm so glad you ended that. First of all, your grandmother didn't say anything, but best believe she was praying for you every single day.
Her prayers still protect me. Still.
And it's like, she knew that she had to do the right thing by you.
Yeah.
But she also, she knew her Heavenly Father had you at the same time. That's true. So it's like, that's 1. 2, there is a reason for it all.
Yeah.
You know that.
Always.
And the fact that, we can laugh and joke about it now, but it's no laughing matter because, you're about to touch so many people with this one book, and that's just the beginning of what you're about to do. Yeah. So it's tell your truth. Yeah. Tell your story. Yeah. Because, you're not the only one that has done it or tried to do it. You know what I'm saying? So it's people need to see that you can get past this. For sure. And you can see on the other side of the door that it's not worth it in the end. And I lost a cousin my sophomore year of high school to suicide. So it's when it happens firsthand, it's what could I have done? Yeah. Where did
I miss a sign?
Where the things you think about, but it's in that moment you don't realize that people are just going through things constantly, day by day, every single day. So it's to hear your story, to hear that you're still here, to hear that you're about to be able to touch so many other people out there. It should be a message to somebody else that's on the other side that's thinking it that don't give
Please
up.
Please don't.
Don't.
It's not the answer. It's not the answer. And life is so much more beautiful when you make it on the other side of that valley. Hills and valleys are very much a real thing. And if you are in that season.
If you are in that season.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yep.
A real podcast.
We gotta start and stop where it goes.
If you are in that season, please know that trouble don't last always, right? And it sounds cliche, but weeping does endure for a night.
No, listen.
But the beauty and that joy in the morning, you just have to keep getting up.
Yes.
You just have to wake up and let God handle the rest. Just wake up. Open your eyes, put your feet on the floor, and stand up. Because just that is already a start to a day. Just that. And things will happen. Things will come. People will come and go. Trials will come and go. But if you just keep waking up, and you keep putting your feet on the floor, and you keep trying, it may not be your best day. It may be your worst day. It may be a day from hell itself. Yeah. But they gonna end. At the end of the day, they gonna end. The day gotta end.
The storm gonna come, but the sun coming after that. And I say this all the time. It might be raining here right now, but the sun is shining somewhere. Somewhere.
And at some point, it's gotta get over here.
And at some point, it gotta turn around. So it's we all are experiencing some point of something that's trying to knock us down. And it's up to us to stand strong. Yeah. And know who you are and put one foot in front of another. And I really think I'm so glad I was raised on a foundation of church. Of knowing that the devil gonna try to knock you down so many times. But it's it's up to us to step Because we have the power.
We do.
It's at our tongue.
Literally.
Like, we literally have the
just
power.
have to say it.
All you gotta do is knock him down. That's it. He ain't coming. He gotta keep trying to come, but he ain't gotta come.
The weapon's gonna form, but they ain't never gonna prosper.
Girl.
They wouldn't try. They wouldn't dare try. Okay. They gonna form though. They gonna up and puff.
Right.
You're never gonna lose though. Because the promises of God are still yes and amen.
Always.
And that's that. And it's easier said than done, especially for people who don't have a faith life. And I will always be grateful to my mother for that. I tell her all the time, the best gift she ever gave me was Jesus.
Right.
That was the best thing she could have ever done for me. Because it changed my perspective on everything. How I view everything is different. When you are a child of God, you walk differently, you talk differently, you walk in the rooms differently. Right. Like, he goes before me.
Hello?
Okay. It's been prepared.
The
book was written for him a minute ago. I had to get there because I wasn't ready. And that's a whole nother testimony in itself. I wasn't ready for what was to come. But the place was already set. I just had to do my part to get ready to walk in it. And I feel so much better now, like spiritually mature and sound, like having a sound mind, that peace that truly does surpass all understanding. Okay.
The timeline hit different when you know what's on the other side.
Okay.
When you know what's on, like, cause like 2 years ago, a year ago, a couple months ago, literally. You know what I'm saying? Like, you would not be in this mindset to work towards what is right here.
You don't even know.
No.
Between a really bad breakup, losing my job, my daddy, which all happened between September and December.
Crazy.
There were days I didn't want to get out of bed. There were days I refused to get out of bed. And I had my best friend knocking at the door like, get up. On my phone, like, I'm coming to get you. Get up. Let's go here. Let's do this. And I'm like, I don't got the energy. I don't got the time. I don't got the money.
Yeah,
like, I can't. I literally cannot.
Thank God for a community.
I can't do anything without it. I can't do anything without it. Without my village. The last poem in the book is called Sister Circle. And it is really just a love letter to the community. Like, you can't do life by yourself. It is literally impossible.
It's impossible.
And I need people to like try to shake that mentality. Because it's a myth. It is a myth. It is not true.
It's not.
You need people. Like, we are human. We are people who need people. That's just how we are wired.
Right. That independent mindset sometimes makes us feel like, oh, I don't need this person. I don't need that person. I don't need to talk to this person. Oh, this person pissed me off. I don't gotta talk. Like,
then you gonna make you by yourself.
People gonna be people. Like, you gotta know how to deal with people, and you gotta know who you're dealing with. Right. If they're showing you who they are, like, one, and two, understand that, like, this is who they are. Yeah. Like, there's nothing you can do to change them, but that doesn't mean y'all can't be cordial. Right. That doesn't mean y'all can't work through things and figure it out how to get there.
For sure.
So it's like, you, like, even me, I'm more of an introvert person, you would say, but like, I know that, like, on a day-to-day, I need my girls, I need my sisters, I need my community, I need my brothers, whatever the case may be. Like, I can't do life by myself. Right. You know, so it and sometimes we go through things to teach us that. Because there was a point in time where I felt like, you know, I don't need nobody. Yeah. Like, people come and go, like, right, like, people that came in my life, walked out, like, but that was that mindset I had. Yeah. That's that old mindset. You can't keep living in that old mindset.
You can't.
You want new things, you need new mindset. You need new perspective. You need new ideas. You need new vision, new people, all that around you, because
you gotta drop that other stuff off too. You have to leave that where it is. And I think one thing that really helped me with this book was whatever I laid at the altar, it had to stay there. I could not pick it back up and walk away with it. Because every time I did that, it was a setback. Right. You literally are cheating yourself when you do that. Because you're telling God, like, hey, I trust you, but, like, maybe not. Right.
Right.
Like, maybe just a little bit. Like, I kind of bang with you, but, like you gotta, like, really leave it there. Right. Like, you really have to leave it there. And when you walk away, you gotta clean your hands of it. Because I can't afford to pick it back up. It's entirely too heavy. Right. I can't be that same person. I would not be here. I wouldn't be able to move forward. I wouldn't be able to celebrate my new job and the dropping of my book. Like, I wouldn't be able to do all of that in the same season had I picked it back up when I put it there. I can't. You have to leave those things there. Absolutely. The mindsets, the doubt, the fear, all of that. You have to leave it there. You can't pick it back up.
You sure can't.
Because that's what faith is.
And listen.
That's what faith is.
Oh, girl.
You're going to have me preaching. My dad was a preacher.
Listen.
I'm a PK.
I see the evangelist.
Please don't put it me. I'll run around this whole studio. Please. I will run.
Oh my God.
I'm a runner.
Listen, ain't nothing wrong with that. Just don't make me lay hands on you.
What are you doing? You just go in the stillness.
Listen.
Please don't play with me.
Oh my gosh. 2 more questions for you.
Okay, that one cut off.
No, it's okay.
Okay, great.
All right. It's all good. One thing you would tell your younger self.
One is really hard. I was thinking about this one because I wrote a whole book to her, right? So telling her one thing. Oh, it'll be all right in the morning. It'll be all right in the morning. And she'll probably stare at me and be like, what are you even talking about? Because remember how sassy I was back then. She'll probably stare at me like, and what else?
Right.
But yeah, it'll be all right in the morning because, like I said, the day's gonna end. They have to end. It's not always gonna feel like this. You're not always gonna feel alone. You're not always gonna feel like the outcast. You're not always gonna feel uncomfortable in your body. You are not always gonna feel like you don't belong here. You don't have a place here. You're not always gonna hate your name. You'll learn to love it. You'll learn to correct people to say it right. Because it's not always gonna be like this. You just gotta hold on. And that's hard for a little girl to hear, probably. Because it was hard when people did tell me when I was little. But now that I've made it over and looking back, like, girl, it's worth it. Every single thing that's getting ready to be thrown your way, it was sent to make you stronger.
Right.
It wasn't sent to break you. You can't have a testimony without a test. And in my case, quite a few. Right? But I've always been good at acing. So it's gonna be all right in the morning. Like, it's gonna be well.
I think you're talking to not just your younger self, but the younger generation.
Yeah.
And the younger generation, I want them to know that, like, just be a kid.
Please just be one, baby. Because bills is high, rent is high. It costs $1 million to get your hair done. I need my nails done. I am back like baby. Just
be a kid. Just enjoy the moments that you have right now and let life take its course from that. Please. Don't try to be grown. Just let the life take its course from that.
It's not really that fun over here. I'm being honest. It has some fun moments, but I'd give anything to be back in the classroom with high rises. I'd give the world to be. It's really nice over there. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, outdoor classrooms. It's real nice over there right now. It's real nice over there. Oh, when I was a kid, to be back in the classroom as a kid and not somebody's teacher.
Seriously. It's okay though.
Yeah.
We're making our way.
We are. We have no choice. You can't stay in those spaces forever, right?
You got those moments.
Right.
They're moments. It's okay.
You have to grow. You have to learn. You have to develop. And you got to move on, right? Everything's in a season, right? So once the season is over, you have to move on.
Yes.
And you take the lessons with you. That's the trick. Because things will happen
until you learn from them.
And if you don't get it, then God gonna send you right back.
Yep.
And you're gonna have to learn it again until you get it right.
It's the same type of Mama Peterson.
Right.
Girl, we out here. Preach, girl, pulpit, please.
Oh. Maybe your first lady. People done spoke that over my life a couple times. She gonna have me a first lady tea or something. I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Listen, that's for another time. Right. What advice do you have for the people who are looking to start their journey of writing a book?
Ooh. Tell the truth. Love your topic, whatever it is that you're writing about. If you don't love it, editing process is going to kick your butt.
Right. Right.
Because when I started my editing process, I'm arguably a perfectionist. I can be a little bit anal about certain things. So starting my editing process was so frustrating to me. So I'm like, oh, it's already perfect.
Right. What do I need to change?
Right. And my counselor's like, ooh, but what about this? What about that? My coach is like, but what about that? How you thought about that? I'm like, oh my God, you guys just don't get it.
Right.
And it's not that they don't get it. They're pulling something out of me that I couldn't pull out of myself.
Right.
Right? So you gotta love your topic, otherwise the editing process is gonna kick your butt. And you're probably gonna have a love-hate relationship with the editing process anyway. Learning how to love that process was a mirror for learning how to love my own imperfections and being okay with things not being perfect. And knowing that that's okay.
Right.
That you don't have it right. You don't have all the answers. Perfection is a myth. Wasn't nobody perfect but Jesus.
Hello.
Like nothing's perfect.
Right.
And you have to accept that. So embrace the editing process. And then self-publish 1,000% across the board. What stalled the book a lot was me deciding if I wanted to go to a publishing house or if I wanted to self-publish, because I knew self-publishing came with financing it myself.
Right.
And I was like, I don't know if I have the space to pay my bills and handle responsibilities and afford this right now.
Right.
But when God promises you something, He gonna do it the whole way. He's never gonna half-step about you. So when it was put on my heart and I made the decision to trust Him and trust the process, I knew the money would come. And once I just let it happen, I said, okay, well, I'm just gonna focus on writing, focus on editing, and the money gonna come. It'll come. My Christmas came around, my family was asking me, what you want? I don't want nothing. I want a donation to make this book happen.
Right.
My birthday came around, I don't want nothing. I want a donation to make this book happen. I went without no birthday gift, no Christmas gift. Don't give me nothing. If it's a donation, cool. But anything else aside from that, don't give me no gift.
Right.
I don't want it. I want this book to happen.
Hello.
And in turn, I gave my family and some friends the opportunity to sow a seed too. So they're part of this legacy now too.
Right.
So in the midst of them gifting me, I hope that their generosity and their kindness, that they receive the gift that is this book.
It's coming back to them.
Yeah. And that's the beauty of sowing seeds, right?
Right.
Is something's gotta grow from that. And that is going to be more beautiful than what you think you lost by planting it. That was a moment.
Like, girl, I told you to repeat that a couple times on here, because I'm like, I'm about to go back and type some things up. Like,
yeah,
wow.
that's this beauty in sowing a seed. So yeah, this process, when you decide to self-publish, know that it's gonna come. You're gonna have to prepare. You're gonna put some things in place.
Right.
You know, I think
Prioritize.
Right, you're definitely gonna have to prioritize, and you're gonna have to sacrifice.
Right.
And that was a big lesson for me to learn in this process. Sacrifice. Girl, let's go here. Can't. Ain't got it. And I don't have it because I'm pouring everything extra that I do have into what I'm doing.
Right.
And this book is not even about money. Like, please buy it. But like, I didn't write it.
Right. No, facts.
I didn't write it with making money in mind. I wrote it because I had been sitting on it for years, and God put it on my heart. And I've learned in the midst of grief that when God puts something on my heart, whether that's picking up the phone and calling somebody, reaching out, or doing something, you have to listen.
You have to listen.
Because obedience is key. And if He put it on my heart and He brought me to it, He's going to bring me through it. And figuring it out, that's His job. I'm just doing
what He told me to do.
And everything else going to fall into place. And it has. The money done fell into place. And timing done fell into place. And working with kids, with the cover, like everything is working because I said, I hear you, I trust you, and I'm complete with you.
Wow, that's good.
And
we gonna do this.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yes.
Ooh, girl.
Yes.
I am so glad you came up here. For real, thank you. I appreciate it.
Having me.
And it's better that, like, you know, it's crazy because the first, I had in my head that since I worked on Sunday that when I text you, it was Wednesday, like, but we had our days mixed up. But it's so much better that you're in studio because it just feels more like live. And real. It's just like, it's been too long anyways.
I
so
know.
like, way too long anyways. And I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
I love you, girl. And I'm
bring it in.
And like I said, thank you for sharing your testimony. Thank you for blessing the world with your book, because it's not just Connecticut and Bridgeport.
Right.
It's gonna hit. It's gonna hit. And I'm just so glad that you had a prayer grandmother. I'm so glad that you had a spirit within you, a prophecy that was blessed, like put before your life, and that you followed through with it.
Yeah.
So don't take this for light. Don't take it for granted.
Yeah.
Like this is big, and you should be very, very proud of yourself.
I am. My mother always instilled humility in me, and so I'm juggling, trying to remain humble.
Right.
And being like, but you're really that girl.
Yeah.
You are really her, girl. Like, you did that.
Listen, Renaissance first song was out there for a reason, okay?
Period.
That's I've been living my head for the last year or two. It's just like, yeah, Beyonce said it. So.
Right. And if B said it, then that's it. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
It's gonna be. Because Beyonce said it.
Oh man, do you have anything else you want to tell the people?
Ooh. Continue to tune into the Sistaaa podcast. You feel me? Support my girl.
You heard what she said.
did.
And make sure you buy her book April 6th. Where can they buy it?
Amazon.
Yep. Girl, so
Amazon. Ebook and hard copy.
Okay.
So whichever suits your fancy. And then I'm putting this in the atmosphere, and I'm saying this here so that it holds me accountable. I really want to do like a recording of it, like an audio book. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yep.
I'm not gonna give y'all too much.
Right, it's coming.
I'm not gonna give y'all too much.
Right.
Because you can't always speak your blessings to everybody.
Listen.
Right? But just
You manifest
the
it, that's
audio
it.
book
Let the rest come
right.
in.
Audio book. Give me some time.
Right.
Cause it's all up in here. But
Y'all hear
we
y'all
got big
listen.
things with this audio book too.
Y'all heard it here first. April 6th. Go get a copy. Amazon, ebook, all that good stuff.
Pretty for a Black Girl.
Pretty for a Black Girl by Shanice Maxwell. Okay?
Yes.
Oh man. My sisters, as always, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I'm here for you guys. And I'll catch you in the next episode.
That was so fun!
That was great.